So, Murph, the Yankees got Jameson Tallion in a trade with the Pittsburgh Pirates. In return, the Pirates got Miguel Uribe, Roanans Contreras, Mayacol Escato, and Kanan Smith. What do you think of this trade, Murph? Overall, I'm pretty happy with this.
I mean, it's a solid trade. You didn't give up anything, and you got, potentially something. You never know. This guy, unfortunately, coming off his second Tommy John, not great. But considering what you gave up to get him, it's a deal you got to do. And I think most scouts, most GMs out there said, like, you make this deal 10 times out of 10. Because it's an easy deal. You need to clear up space on the 40-man anyways, or 40-man was full, and we still got to add DJ and Kluber to it. So you're going to drop guys regardless. So why not trade some guys, get something in return? You got a guy who has potential, right? And he's doing it for cheap. He's got 2.5 mil on the books, I think, and he's got another year option, I believe. So he's got potential. You never know. The Yankees are continuing the trend of high risk, high reward guys. It sucks we gave up Uribe. I think I liked him, but considering what else we gave up, they finally decided, hey, let's move from the lower end prospects who weren't even going to make the roster. Really didn't have a chance in hell of breaking on this team. So move on from them, clear space on the 40-man, get a guy in return, some pitching depth.
They did exactly what we needed to, what we talked about last episode. Like, get rid of you can part with these lower end prospects, and it's not going to hurt. It's not going to hurt you in the long run, hopefully. But Uribe, like you said, I think he did good this year. We saw a lot of good things from him, a few bad things. But good luck to him and the Pirates. I don't know how he's going to do over there because it's just a failing organization on my part. But Taillon's journey to the Yankees, 2010 overall pick, second overall pick, 2014 Tommy John, 2015 sports hernia, 2017 he had cancer, 2019 he had his second Tommy John. I think he's motivated to come into New York. He's best friends with Gerrit Cole. I don't know if you saw Gerrit Cole's story last night. They were already hanging out and drinking wine. Yeah. They're ready to go. And I really do think that if healthy, this rotation can be disgusting. Disgusting.
Yeah, it's the high risk, high reward type of deal. Like, I think John Boy said it best. It's Gerrit Cole and the comebacks, right? We got 4 guys who haven't pitched in over a year. We got Sevy coming back from 2 years missing. We got Kluber coming back from 2 years missing, right? I think he pitched like a little bit last year.
18 pitches last year.
Yeah, nothing. So he's 2 years out of the league so far. Tallion, he basically missed 2 seasons, right? He pitched a little bit in 19, but nothing, not a significant body of work to really judge him. So he really didn't pitch that year. So he's missing 2. And then Herman missing over a year with the suspension. Mm-hmm. So, the Yankees are really putting all their eggs in, hoping that one of these guys pans out. Mm-hmm. They're hoping that – so they're betting Gerrit Cole's a for sure thing, right? That's pretty safe to say. Mm-hmm. Then they're hoping one of these other guys pans out and they can get at least a 2 for the playoffs. They're hoping it's Kluber. They're hoping it's Sevy. They're hoping it's Jameson. They're hoping one of these guys can turn into something. And, it's a big bet, but we'll see, I guess. I hope it pans out. I really need it to pan out.
I mean, Tallion was throwing upwards of 97, 98 in the before he was like in between his sports hernia and his cancer, and then 2018-ish. Yeah, so I mean, this rotation has, like, besides Gerrit Cole, I saw some stats like 85 innings pitched since 2018 or 2019, and that's really not good.
That's not great.
But they're like when in their good seasons, they've had a combined ERA of like a 2.99, a 3.10. So it's not bad. It's not bad. We can get it done this year. And when healthy, it can happen. I would be scared of this rotation if everything pans out.
If the stars align, then this rotation can hang.
The stars can align, Murph. They can align.
They can. I have to believe.
You have to believe. Let's go to our division rivals. Let's just say the Blue Jays signed George Springer, 6 years, $150 million. I've never been so proud of a guy. He cheated and then fled the country and got away with it.
Yeah, he wanted to distance himself from the Astros so much so he left the country. He decided, I'm out. I'm really out.
Mm-hmm. What do you think of this move for the good deal?
Yeah, it's a great deal. I mean, the Blue Jays need some star power. I mean, they have the young core around them. They got Biggio, Bichette. They got Gurriel. They got Vlad. They got all these guys. They just need, some star power to go along with these guys. And I think George Springer can be that leader and can be that star power for them. Plugging them in center field is great. They have some outfield depth now, so they may make a move to get rid of one of their extra pieces in the outfield. But they're looking good. He's Gold Glove winner, playoff guy, But what they're not telling you is how bad he is against the Yankees.
Extremely, like 179.
He's really bad against the Yankees, and now he's going to be facing them a lot.
Especially because we're staying. Are we staying in division this year?
I have no idea. They haven't said anything about that. I hope not, because 162 games of playing the same schmucks over and over again will get boring. It will get tiresome, and
it will cause a lot of beef, and that's not going to be fun for teams.
And basically, every other league, every other sports league is trapping the country. So there's really no reason not to at this point. Just take the risk. If the COVID rates start going up high to like a point where you can't do it anymore, then switch to the interdivision thing or whatever. But I think right now you roll with the dice and you try to get as many like cross country games you can, interdivision games you can.
You got go ahead. You have you can just fly up and down the East Coast, so I'm pretty sure that should be fine. Well, I mean, for the MLB at least. You were saying?
Yeah, I think the Blue Jays did the right thing going to get a George Springer. Where they did drop the ball is not getting his partner in crime, Michael Brantley.
They had him for 2 hours, apparently.
They had him for 2 hours. He was he was setting up his locker room, and then he saw where it was, and then he said, "I don't like it. This isn't cool. No, I'm out." And then he went back to Houston.
It's cold up here. I don't like it. I went back to the Houston Astros, which, again, it's just a move. They re-signed him, I'm not worried about them.
No. They're still the Trastros, right? They've made no significant additions. They've made no improvements. They've gotten worse. And if anything, they're probably going to continue to get worse because next year they got Correa, who's going to be a free agent.
I think he's going to go.
Yeah, I don't see him staying. So they got some problems there. I think signing Brantley was a good move for them because if they lost him to a team like the Blue Jays would have been scary if they signed Brantley.
Yeah.
I think they would have had a really deep lineup. I think their only weakness would have been the rotation and bullpen, which they still need to improve. And from everything I've heard, it looks like they're trying to close in on a deal for Chris Bryant and old boy from the Cubs. What's his name? The pitcher, Alec? Is it Alec?
You mean Kyle Hendricks?
Kyle Hendricks. That's it. Yeah. It looks like they're trying to close in a deal for him. So that could be interesting.
They're gonna to get those two. They're gonna have to send over some guys. So
they're gonna have to send them some dudes.
But they signed Yates too.
Mm-hmm.
But in the past, like Yates was with the Yankees. He did not so good. I think he actually got released or cut by the Yankees.
Yeah, I think he got released.
And you don't know what Yates you're going to get when he goes out there. I mean, in the past 2-3 years, he's been unstoppable. But before that, it was kind of, night and day with him. But we'll see. I think the Blue Jays have definitely a higher chance of being our in-division rival over the Rays this year because the Rays have lost a lot of people this year, in my opinion.
Yeah, another team that has made zero improvements and it's gotten worse, right? They traded Morton. I mean, they didn't trade. They lost Morton. They traded Snell. They didn't really get a ton in return for Snell. Like immediate
get ready
help.
Guys. Yeah, immediate help.
Like maybe Luis Patino pans out. He could do something for them. But if you're relying on him to like be an asset in the playoffs, that might be a little bit too much to expect from him now. For right now, they do have some pretty talented prospects, but yeah, as of right now, none of them are kind of ready to take that step forward into the big league. So it looks like the rivalries continue to change year by year for the Yankees. First it was the Red Sox, next it was the Rays, and now it looks like it's going to be the Blue Jays who are going to be that next guy up in the
Not the
division.
Orioles, bro. Come on.
Definitely not the Orioles. Probably never the Orioles. I don't think I've ever, even when they had Machado, I don't think I was ever like, oh my God, we have to play the Orioles. Like,
it was still like, we're going to go there and,
we're going to just clean up shop and move on.
We're going to get on the bus, eat a snack in the dugout, whoop some ass, and then hop back on the bus with a nice 2-3 wins out of the series. The Nationals making three big moves. They got Schwarber. They got Ryan Zimmerman back on a 1-year deal after sitting out the 2020 season. And then they got the best reliever in the AL, in my opinion, Brad Hand.
Yeah.
And I think Schwarber, nice addition for them, definitely will help them out if they have the universal DH, especially with Zimmerman too. But Brad Hand, kind of a pointless ad, I think they needed more offense, but that's just me. Because they do have the starting rotation to go deep into games and win them and beat out teams no matter who they have, because they do have that powerhouse pitching staff, in my opinion.
Yeah, I'd have to agree. I mean, they got that big three that'll eat, that'll go out and get you 7. They proved it when they won their rings, right? The big three went out there and they did their thing, and they even had a big 4 for a little bit. They got some really good 7-inning starts from their boys, shut down everyone left and right. And I think the missing piece was offense. Even then, it was offense that was the problem, and they had Rendon. They lost him, and they haven't replaced him. And you can't replace a guy like him, but so far they haven't done anything remotely close to that. They've added Schwarber, like you said, which is a really good ad. I mean, a much needed ad for them. They need offense really badly, and I think they still need to go find some missing pieces out there. Brad Hand, like you said, it's a good ad, right? I think you can never have enough strong bullpen arms, especially 10 mil for like the best guy in the AL, right? The best reliever in the AL, 10.5. That's not bad for 1 year. But a waste for him as well, because it's like,
you're playing.
You're playing for nothing. You're not the best team in your division. You're not even the second best team in your division right now. So,
and maybe not even the third. You guys gotta, because they could pitch their butts off, the Scherzer, Strauss, and Corbin, and then they could not score anything. They could give up 1 run a game and lose.
Exactly. So they really need to make some offensive improvements to this team. I don't think they shouldn't be done, and if they are done, yikes. You didn't really. You improved, but you didn't improve enough to close the gap between you and the Mets and the Braves. And then possibly like the Phillies if they re-sign JT, or even the Marlins if they take the next step forward with their young guys. I don't know. You never know in that division. They're all pretty tough.
Then the Red Sox signing Kike Hernandez and Garrett Richards. Kike will finally find his starting job. Richards will finally get a top-of-the-line rotation spot, which he once had with the Angels and then got completely hurt. And then he was very good with the Angels. He did pretty okay with the Padres last year, and now he's with the Red Sox. I mean, Kike Hernandez isn't I don't know if he's a difference maker for them. He's going to be playing on a team that really doesn't have anything to play for.
I mean, that lineup is still pretty tough at the end of the day. A lineup with Devers, Bogarts, Martinez, and Verdugo, if you can, put it together a little bit more consistently. I think that's still a scary lineup at the end of the day, but that rotation is non-existent, and I mean non-existent. And that bullpen is even worse somehow. So I don't know. Adding a guy like Gerrit Richards will definitely help, right? Because you can't hurt when you already have one of the worst rotations in the league. Adding someone cannot hurt you at that point. But I wouldn't expect them to compete in this division. And I think, the Red Sox fans were like, their GM came out and said, we're not done. We're going to make a competitive 2021 team. No, you're not. You clearly are not making a competitive team because you've made 2 moves which the grand scheme of things are pretty insignificant. They're not going to move the needle for you. You're not closing the gaps on the Yankees or the Blue Jays or even the Rays for that matter.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's a waste of a move. I mean, not a waste, obviously. You got to improve. You're not going to sit out there and just lose every game. But they're not making playoffs based on these moves.
You gotta, I mean, because Chris Sale's his innings are limited this year. I think they have that guy Tanner Hoke. Shout out you. You follow our foundation. You're the best. He's very good in my opinion. But the other guys, you got Evaldi, and you got Richards in the mix, and you have a lineup that was absolutely deflated last year after their start to the season. You have that suspect bullpen, so I could put them highest as third in front of the Rays, depending on how the Rays come out this season. But as of now, we got a lot of action to go with Real Muto, JT Real Muto still on the free agent block, and then Trevor Bauer still on the free agent block. Am I missing anyone else?
I mean, obviously there's more free agents, but like the two big notable ones are those two. I mean, I'm really surprised they haven't signed yet. Other than maybe JT, I'm not surprised he hasn't signed yet. I think the Mets signing McCann really deflated all his suitors, and now he realizes I'm not going to get that big payday that I originally wanted. So now it's who could get me as close to that. He probably re-signs with the Phillies at the end of the day, though.
Yeah, I think he's going back to Philadelphia. Well, Murph, thank you for joining me on this very early rendition of the Off the Cuff, our 5th episode, I'm pretty sure. Thank you for joining me. To more action in the near future of the MLB. Yes.
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 Right. Have a good day. Later.